Are you part of the learning tree, or is he the learning tree? I've always been confused about this.
You know, I think we're all confused. All three of us are confused.
Is he the learning tree,
or
are
you
in
the
the
learning tree? But it's all encompassing.
Are you a branch of the learning tree?
I'm definitely a branch.
It is wrestling. Wrestling rides again. Wrestling, the #1 professional wrestling podcast in this room currently. And we have a guest today.
That can't be true.
We do have a guest. You're a guest.
No. The #1 wrestling, there's no way that's real.
This is #1 wrestling podcast? In this company, it is.
Okay. How many are there?
Well.
In Barstool?
Huh?
It's not
that big of a deal. You know, numbers are numbers. You know,
it.
Meltzer,
Yeah.
we can make ratings look any way we want.
That's
to make
true.
them.
My boss hit my line with an angry text saying something about B90X. I said wrestling. I'm going to wrestling. Then my phone blew up.
All right, it is wrestling. It's a professional wrestling podcast. We're really just an interview show at this point because I can't be bothered to give my own takes about anything. And see that? See that right there? You see this guy? Big Bill from All Elite Wrestling. Real quick, the last person I had here from AEW was very mean to me. Very mean and dismissive and made me feel like a big old pile of shit the entire interview.
I saw.
Are you going to do that?
I promise I will not. I mean, as long as you stay in line,
okay,
we'll be copacetic. But I saw the interview, and I think maybe a bit over the line.
So as long as I stay in line?
Yes, we'll be good.
Question #1.
Yeah.
What's your fucking problem?
I'd say, walking in here on a great day in Chicago, I didn't really have a problem until you just fucking said that.
Yeah.
So,
I guess I just started the problem.
Yeah, there's the problem.
You guys are in Chicago. You were in Milwaukee last night. You're swinging through Chicago, All Out. This is going to come out after All Out.
Yeah, All Out Saturdays.
But listen, right now you're in the program there. You're Jericho. You're in part of the learning tree. Are you part of the learning tree, or is he the learning tree? I've always been confused about this.
I think we're all confused. All three of us are confused.
Is he the learning tree, or are
you
you
the
in the
learning tree? But it's all encompassing.
Are you a branch of the learning tree?
I'm definitely a branch. I would say I'm even a root. I'm deep in the soil. But I think we're all part of the learning tree.
Right.
But Chris is the learning tree.
Yeah.
Which is like I said, all encompassing.
I know it's it's a faction, it's a TV product, it's all of that. That being said,
yes,
being that close to Chris Jericho and being part of his storylines and his arcs and everything like that does have to. The learning tree is like it's on the nose, right? Like being around Jericho is a learning experience, correct?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I got to work with him pretty quickly when I was in WWE.
Yeah.
And then when I came back to AEW, I wanted to work with him. Or, work a program with him, work on his team. And then when he pitched this to me, I was like, yeah, this is great. So it's like constantly asking him for advice, not just about wrestling either, about, life and stuff like that. And he's always got really, really good advice. And the one thing that he's helped me with maybe the most is confidence. I feel like since I started with Chris, my confidence has started to get, higher and higher and higher and higher, which is probably can be seen on the screen.
Have you had... I mean, you're 6 foot, you're 7 feet, you're a gigantic man, you're huge, you're big. Has confidence been a problem for you?
No, well, yeah, I guess as performers, yes. Sometimes we all have. I don't know, any wrestler that tells you they don't have problems with confidence from time to time is a fucking liar.
Okay.
So yeah, there's times where you're wondering, am I good at this? What do I need to do better?
Am I doing the right thing?
But working with Chris has, I know now my instincts are good.
Mm-hmm.
And I am good, man. He's constantly reinforcing that for me.
You're damn good.
Yeah. So I think as performers, I'm sure musicians, I'm sure you have those days where you're like, well, not you.
Okay, all right.
People around here
Yeah.
that aren't you probably have days where they're like, I don't know if I'm really that good at this,
Here's the thing about me, and we just met. I'm a colossal piece of shit. Even when I'm terrible, I think I'm great, and it's somebody else's fault. Like earlier,
sounds like some people I know.
Yeah, earlier when we had that problem with the recording and everything.
Oh yeah.
That was that fucking idiot producer over there. Be better. That's all I'm saying. Be better.
He's got a point.
Chris Jericho. So I wanted to ask about the learning tree because the learning tree is I don't know exactly what it is. All I know is when he looks at the camera and he gives the pause and he goes, "Hi guys," you're in the back. You're looking tough. How do you not kind of corpse when that happens sometimes?
I've gotten used to it. It's the silliest thing. It's such a small thing. You could put that on a T-shirt and people would buy. Hi, guy. Such a stupid thing.
Yeah.
But Chris is able to get it over. Remember with the list with the click of the pen and shit like that. Simple things that he's able to get over.
Did you ever get on the list?
Oh, yeah, plenty of times. Yeah.
On camera or off camera?
Both. But on camera, had to be one of the first people on the list.
Okay, all right.
When he started it. But yeah, Chris. I just I've gotten used to it, and I don't know if you could see this, but whenever he says the hi guys and I'm in frame, I always give in the background. I'm trying. I told him last week.
A little bit of a hi as well.
Like a subdued. Like I'm here too. I'm trying to. If he was Michael Scott, I'm trying to be maybe I blindly agree with him.
So you're the assistant to the Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Or are you the assistant Chris Jericho?
I think I'm the assistant Chris Jericho, but technically they say I'm the assistant to the Chris Jericho. Okay. So but in my mind it's assistant Chris Jericho.
You talk about a T-shirt idea.
Yeah, dude.
Assistant to the Chris Jericho.
Oh shit.
How much because some of your career, a good bit of your career has been standing there and being a badass while a smaller guy runs around with you with a mic and just doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I want to laugh at this motherfucker. I want to laugh, but you just got to keep going.
It's tough. There's been plenty of times, with Enzo and plenty of times with Chris where I kind of break. And the thing that I've done now with Enzo, you could tell that I was trying to hide it. But now with Chris, I just go with it. So if he breaks me on camera, I'll just laugh. And it makes sense. It's like, well, yeah, it's his buddy. Of course he's laughing.
Yeah.
So I don't try to hide it anymore.
Well, Bryan Keith is dialing it up too.
He's fantastic.
He's dialing it up because
fantastic.
Last night, Orange Cassidy. I'm talking about Dynamite in Milwaukee on September 4th. Last night, Bryan Keith was talking to Orange Cassidy, who's about a foot and a half away from him, and he's just yelling as loud as he can.
Yeah, dude.
And it was just like, all right, dude, he's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay the price.
That's right.
You better respect Chris Jericho. He's got, again, T-shirt idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that down. When he says it, he's got so much damn bass in his voice. It like shakes the camera. It's great.
God, now I want you to lower third. Your next singles match, I want to just be like Big Bill, assistant to the Chris Jericho.
Assistant to the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho.
And you pin the guy. It's assistant Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I get the microphone after. Justin Roberts, give me the mic. It's assistant to Chris Jericho.
Oh, man. How long have you been in AEW now?
2 years.
2 years. It's been 2 years.
I debuted probably right around 2 years ago today or this week, yeah.
It feels fresher than that. It feels newer than that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been in too many programs since I've been there, so I guess there's a reason that it would feel fresh.
Well, yeah, the tag title run.
Yeah. With Ricky, of course. Yeah, it's kind of flown by for me too. It's all a blur, man. Just the whole thing. I mean, that's just when you're on the road and going to the buildings and hotel building, airport.
Yeah.
That shit gets really repetitive. So it's like it's been all a blur.
How are airports for you? I feel like
8.
Some wrestlers, a lot of wrestlers have very stark opinions on airports.
Yeah.
But the ones who can get away with it and can kind of are the ones who are smaller in stature. Mm-hmm. Like you're not sneaking past anybody. No. You're not sneaking through security. You're not sneaking. No. You're sticking out like a sore thumb.
There's nothing more about the job that I hate than the airport. You could ask my fiance if we're in an Uber or driving to the airport. When we get off the exit for the Tampa airport, my armpits start sweating. It's the
you get nervous.
It's the weirdest thing. I don't know if it's like I gotta check my bags in a certain amount of time and make the flight, or if I miss the flight, then I'll miss the show. I don't know what it is, but my armpits start sweating when we're getting near the airport. It's fucking crazy.
Is it the same people at the Tampa airport every time, or is it a different group?
Usually the same people.
Yeah.
Well, depending on the airline, Tampa airport's super convenient, so each terminal has its own security, its own Starbucks, which is key. But yeah, it's depending on the terminal you're in, it's usually the same people in each terminal. Yeah.
Well, you need to start treating these people like family. Show up with cookies next time.
It's not a bad idea.
Show up with cookies and maybe a picnic basket, distract them with food, and then just knock the shit out of one of them.
Knock the shit out of them. I'm pretty sure you get put on a list for that, man.
Yeah, well, that's probably a bad idea. Yeah. I apologize for that.
But the cookie idea was
the cookies is good. Cookies. Yeah. Start with cookies.
Yeah, start with the cookies. We'll bump it up to cakes, maybe other pastry items.
A wrestler walking up to a giant wrestler walking up to some autograph seekers. I baked you cookies. There's cookies, guys.
Here you go.
I don't mean to get too serious on you or nothing, but you've been in AEW 2 years now. Yeah. And when I was talking to some people at AEW about, hey, man, I got Big Bill coming Thursday. I got Big Bill. What should I talk to him about? And almost every single one of them were like, oh, man, I fucking love Big Bill. That guy's got his shit together. That guy's got his act together. That guy's really serious about what he's doing now. He's awesome. He's really come a long way. How does that
These
make
are my
you?
coworkers?
Yeah, these are your coworkers.
Wow.
I'll tell you who they were afterwards.
Okay.
How you feel about that?
I appreciate that. It's nice that people recognize it. Yeah. I guess.
How far do you feel like you've come?
Oh man, it got real. Man, it got real bad there for a while, man.
Yeah.
It was. Obviously, I've been pretty open about my problems.
Sure.
And my alcoholism was horrendous, and now 4 years sober. Going to be coming up on 5 years sober around the Super Bowl upcoming year. But yeah, it's been quite a journey, man. I mean, my career, ups and then downs, and now I'm definitely on an upswing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like now I have a second chance. A second chance, not just at wrestling, but a second chance at life. I have a very good life. I have my fiance who I'm getting married to in December. I love her family.
That
we have our
makes sense.
dogs. Yeah, I have a second chance at life because for a while there, that didn't seem like it was going to continue.
Yeah.
It got really bad. So I have a second chance at life. So it's like I got to put 100% into everything I'm doing. And at work, it's like, don't complain, put your head down, work hard, do what you're told. And eventually it's going to pay off. And I think it's hard to see that sometimes, but that's just, it always works out for those people. Put your head down, work hard, and it may take longer than you expect.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen.
But how has improving the your life and the person that you are? How is that improvement? I assume that's improving you as a wrestler as well.
Yeah, that helps with my confidence. That helps with, I feel good about myself. There for a long time there, I didn't feel good about myself. I wasn't confident. I was incredibly insecure. I was always down. Didn't see any value in myself. So yeah, I guess getting sober, building a good network of friends and my family, and everything going well for me in life has definitely helped me over on the wrestling end of things because I feel very secure in my life. I feel secure as a human being, as a person. And as long as I do the next right thing, kind of be a good guy and do the best, to be the best person I could be, I guess I have a lot more confidence in work.
Well, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
So you're doing this thing with Jericho right now. You're a part of the learning tree. You're the assistant to the learning tree. You're I'm sorry. I love it so much.
Get a little pin.
I apologize.
Yeah.
So you're doing this thing with Chris Jericho, but let's say a year from now, 2 years from now, who knows how long certain programs last. But what does success look for you in your mind as far as your individual career in AEW as you keep going forward?
I guess a lot of people would say I want to win world titles. I want to be top. Yeah, of course. Everybody wants to be the guy. I guess
you wouldn't be in the business if you did.
That's my goal, to be the guy, to be the face. And looking at the roster we have, it's going to be a very fucking hard hill to climb to overtake some of those spots. But that's still the goal, to be the top guy. Yeah. But I guess my main goal in wrestling has always been to be memorable. And I think in my career so far in WWE, I think that I was able to do that with Enzo. It's always, I just want to be memorable because 10 years from now, people will be like, did that guy, so when me and Ricky won the tag team titles, I told people that's my first title I've ever won. They said, no, you and Enzo won them. I said, no, we didn't. And they were like, no one remembers this shit. So 10 years from now, people are going to be like, did he win titles? Did he win a title? Did he main event? Who knows? But is he memorable? I just want to be memorable.
People still talk about your debut on Raw to
I
this
know.
day.
Memorable is the way to go.
The pop, the Dudleys, the whole thing.
If you look at the past, there's been plenty of tag team champions, in the past in wrestling and when I was in NXT and WWE, that people don't really remember them anymore.
Yeah.
But to be memorable, I think, is the goal. So for me, it's always to be memorable in what I'm doing. And I think I did that with Enzo, and I think with the Learning Tree now, people 10 years from now, people are going to remember this. They're going to be like, oh, the Learning Tree. That shit was funny as fuck.
Just trying to think of where I wanted to pivot to right now because we were talking about the Learning Tree and memories and all that. And I'm actually just sandpapering over the fact that my mind just went blank for a second.
It's all good.
So what you do is if you just have diarrhea out of your mouth for a second, they'll never know that you're just kind of going from point to point.
That's good.
And Jericho, did he recruit you specifically? Did he come up to you and say, hey, man, I got an idea, and it works best. You're the guy that I need for this. Is that how it happened?
Yeah, he called me. He called me and he pitched it to me, and he said, they had a meeting with Tony and they were trying to. He had this idea.
Yeah.
And I believe they were trying to figure out who is the guy. Oh wow! I'm sorry. I thought I shut that ringer off.
Not very professional.
Not professional. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. If
917 area code. That's definitely spam from New York. Sorry.
Yeah.
So they were and they were
Last
trying.
time I got a 917 area code, it was a douchebag
Who was that?
saying I'll be here in 20 minutes.
Didn't show up, huh?
No, you're here.
Oh, it was me.
So we have fun here.
So they were in a meet, and Chris had pitched this idea, and I guess there were quite a few people in there. And Chris told me that Bryan Danielson,
Yeah.
mentioned my name, and because they were throwing around names, and the second he said my name, everyone said, "That's it.
Yeah.
That's the That's the one right there." So he called me and he told me that, and I said, "Fuck yeah, let's do it."
Well, that's pretty fucking awesome right there. Not only does a legend like Chris Jericho say, "All right, this is my guy," it got pitched by another legend, Bryan Danielson.
And everybody in unison agreed immediately.
As soon as he
That's
says
the
it,
guy.
yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Bryan Danielson a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've known him for a long, long time.
Yeah.
They just, you guys were just in London for All In.
Yeah.
And one of the better AEW world, not one of the better AEW world, one of the better matches I've
Ever.
ever seen. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
He beat Swerve Strickland in London to win the title. Now, I know backstage, I don't know how morale works, I don't know how momentum works, but walking around backstage and everybody sees Bryan Danielson as the official top guy with the gold, everybody has to feel good about that.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, he's Bryan Danielson. I mean, I don't. You just say his name to anybody in the business, and immediately respect comes to mind. Immediately, all the things he's accomplished, and Bryan Danielson is a guy that wasn't supposed to be very successful.
Correct.
And I think that's what makes people respect him the most was he was a guy that was supposed to be, a mid-carder at best, and he refused to fit into that role, and his talent was here, and he put his head down, he chipped away, and the fans were like, no, this is our fucking guy. So he's a guy, respect comes to mind immediately just because of that journey that he had, and all the amazing matches he's had, just everything that comes with it. And behind the scenes, the guy's a great dude.
Yeah.
So he's a really good human being. And that's a guy that anybody can go to. I mean, anybody can go to and ask for advice, and he's going to give them his honest opinion.
We mentioned Jericho already and Bryan Danielson that we just ball washed a little bit, but
Jericho's cool, but Danielson, I mean, but despite of all the things that I just said, he's all right at best.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But is there anybody else backstage in AEW that has really helped your career and helped your progression over the last 2 years that deserves a shout out there?
For sure. I mean, those two guys.
Yeah.
Moxley's a big one. Moxley is the most brutally honest guy.
I've never interviewed Jon Moxley because I'm scared of Jon Moxley.
He's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
Interesting's the best word I could think of.
He's got the most intense face I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I feel like if he were sitting in that chair looking at me, I would be like, when people in Indiana Jones picked up the Holy Grail or looked at the Holy Grail and they just disintegrated into skeletons?
Yeah.
I like to use 50-year-old dated movie references.
I mean, everyone's seen that. Even if they haven't seen the movie, they've seen what you're talking about.
That's what I feel like I would be like if he looked at me.
It's very possible.
Okay.
Yeah. He's an interesting guy. And he's very honest, especially with me. So I've asked him for advice before, and he has said, "Don't ever fucking do that again. That sucked." He's just a straight shooter. So he's helped me tremendously. Lately, Sting, since working the program with Sting has helped me out.
Did you have moments in that program where you're like, I'm working with Sting right now?
Yeah, it's fucking great, dude.
Yeah.
The little kid in me was like, this is amazing. But you got to be professional. And, again, like Danielson, fuck all these guys.
Yeah.
Right?
But Jericho's cool.
Jericho's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But those are the guys that have helped me the most. I'm sure that I'm missing. Dean Malenko also is a big influence. Big Show is a guy that I text with and get some advice from. So those would be the guys.
Was during their career in AEW, was Darby Allin the assistant to the Sting?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think those two. Yeah, I'm trying to think of an Office reference for them too.
Oh
but,
man. Well, that's we could just spend the next 2 hours talking about Office references.
yeah, there's a better.
I
one
have
for
a theory.
them.
I have a theory. Are you ready?
Hit me with it.
Wrestling talk's over for right now.
Cool.
I apologize. Do you think Dwight should have ended up with Angela? I would argue that Angela had a kid with Dwight and then lied to him for a couple of years, treated him like crap, but left him for Andy,
Yeah.
and then there was no romantic connection between her and Andy. She was only doing it to get back at Dwight. Then he had Esther at the end. Is that her name? And then Isabel. Esther, the beautiful farm lady.
Yeah, he did well for himself.
So a stunning looking lady.
Yes,
and then,
she was.
And then Isabel as well. Like, I feel like he had options and he just went right back to Angela. I'm just not sure they should have ended up together.
I've never really thought about it, but now that you mention it,
Yeah.
there were quite a few things towards the end there that I didn't really agree with.
The cheese kind of slid off the cracker on that show at the end.
Maybe just a little bit. It's still my favorite comedy.
Okay, here's the thing. So a lot of people say after Michael left, season 7, season 8, season 9 are trash.
I wouldn't say
They're
trash,
not
but-
trash. They're good compared to other TV shows.
Yeah.
They're just not as good compared to Prime Office.
Yeah, when Michael left, that's a tough void to fill.
But I thought the Robert California season's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but again, it's not
Prime Office.
It's not Prime Office.
But it's better than everything else on TV at the time.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. Reruns of that are better than reruns of any other
Correct.
show. Yeah.
And I'm almost like sometimes I would be fine watching a season 8 marathon just as much as a season 2 marathon.
See, I wouldn't go that far.
You wouldn't go that
Anything
far.
with Michael Scott is just going to be way better.
I've just
I
seen
think
season 2, 3, and 4 so many times.
That's true.
That sometimes I'll see season 8 and it's like a little bit fresher.
Oh yeah, it's unique.
Yeah,
it's more of a novelty.
I'll see more and more people shine, because Michael.
Is true.
Michael kind of ate up a little bit of the scenery and everything.
But the thing, Michael made everybody around him better. Like Dwight feeding off of, like I was saying before with Chris, Dwight feeding off of him was gold. Anytime. So when I watched The Office through the first few times, I would always pay attention to who was speaking.
Right.
But then when I started watching again, if Dwight is in the same shot as Michael, I pay attention to Dwight. And his reactions in the background are gold.
Because he's always trying to get his attention. He's always trying to support
always
him.
agreeing. He's
So anyway, back to wrestling.
Yes.
Well, that was quite the detour.
Quite a good detour.
Not back to wrestling.
Okay.
You're wearing a Yankees hat.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume you're a Yankees fan.
I'm a Yankees fan. And I usually don't wear a Yankee hat that's off color, but this black one Lexi bought me, it's fucking great.
So it's a good hat.
It's a great
good, solid hat.
Matches with everything.
Does this give you anonymity in airports or anything?
Oh God, no.
No, it doesn't.
No, you gotta do the hood too. You know what really bothers me about the airport though is people don't look to see if you're wearing headphones, and they will come up to you and just start talking.
Yeah.
And I can't fucking hear.
Well, now hold on. Let me just. Again, like you said, those people in the hibachi, we don't know what's going on in their life. Are you wearing?
No, I know what you're gonna say. No,
are you wearing earbuds?
I'm
You're wearing earbuds, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. You're a big guy. The earbuds are like 6 feet away from them.
Yeah.
They can't see those little tiny things.
Now
wear headphones like a man.
I was just talking to my fiance about I need to get bigger headphones so people know. Oh, he's listening to music.
You need beats. You need.
I need the big
something-
ones. Yeah.
And with those,
good. I'm glad you called me out for that because you're right.
You don't even need to be listening to music. You can just have them on.
Yeah, just so people don't talk.
You can have them on, and then it's like, so it's a little bit on you. I'm not trying to victim shame.
But the height comment, it's just it gets old,
I know it.
Get on a
how's
plane
the weather up there?
Yeah, well that, but then the plane. I'm surprised to see you fitting on the plane, or how you gonna get in that bed? The same old bullshit.
Are you?
You probably get it. You're a big fucking lad
I'm
yourself.
6'5". But I guy like me, it's first class all the way, so I'm not really worried about it.
Well, I do first class too.
Yeah.
That's right, baby.
I ain't sitting back there. Come on.
Not with those losers.
Come on, are you fucking kidding me?
No, them.
Oh.
But yeah.
Are we still here? Okay.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some more wrestling?
Yeah, fuck it.
Growing up, were you wrestlers can be one of a couple of things. They can be somebody who was a diehard the second they had eyeballs old enough to know what wrestling was, and there was somebody that grew up to be super athletic or super big or super something, and was able to get into the sport later on. What were you?
Diehard since I can remember.
From the beginning.
Yeah, it was going to shows at the Garden since I can remember. My first show, I still have the ticket stub at the Garden, was Superstars in February '92. It's the one where Sid yanked Hogan out of the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been a fan since I was a kid, going to shows at the Garden and the Meadowlands and the Nassau Coliseum. So I always big wrestling fan.
Speaking of, he just passed away recently. You're a big guy yourself. How awesome was Sid?
Fucking man.
Sid was fucking awesome.
He was all
You ever meet him?
I never met him.
Yeah.
He was awesome. I mean, his intensity.
Yeah.
He looked like a killer, man. He was huge.
I think he's a top 5 look in the history of wrestling.
Excellent. Yeah,
Like
I agree. The traps. He was
The
so
traps,
jacked.
yeah. He always had this is a weird thing. He always had the right amount of sweat.
Yeah.
He always came out of the locker room and was looking like
The hair was perfect wet.
correct. It was perfect wet. Like
Yeah.
he was perfectly calibrated to just be an ass kicking monster.
Yeah, and even in his promos.
The body glove for some reason worked.
Yeah. In his promos, the sweat or the water from his hair would be coming off his
Yeah, it
mouth
would.
as he spit. It was great.
Yeah.
When he beat Shawn in the Garden in '96, that was like.
Yeah.
That was kind of, I hate to take it back. Well, we don't take it back, but to another subject. But '96, I think, hot take. I think wrestling in '96 led the way for guys like Tony Soprano and Walter White. Boom.
Wow.
Think about it.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
NWO.
Let me try to put this together. So
Yes.
wrestling turned in about '96 from a cartoonish, garbage man wrestling to more realistic presentation.
And the glorification of the anti-hero.
So Austin kind of is born in '96.
Bad dude, but
Yeah.
we loved him.
Right.
NWO.
Yeah.
Heels.
Yeah.
Loved.
Cool ass heels. Yeah.
Loved. I think the beginning of the anti-hero movement started in wrestling in 1996. I know that's controversial. I said in a group text with my friends recently, they called me crazy. But if you really think about it,
Yeah.
where was the anti-hero in films and television before '96? I don't know if I remember it too much.
Okay. So they existed, but they were only in small pockets, right? Like they
Okay.
were pretty much only in mob movies. Like Goodfellas,
You're right,
they were anti-heroes in '90. The Godfather, they're anti-heroes, I believe.
Yeah, no, you're making good points.
And I know
though.
Sopranos came later.
Yeah.
But like there was nothing like Walter White before like '96 in wrestling. So yeah, I think they existed in certain pockets of media, but not on the whole like they would.
Bad
actually.
guys became cool after '90.
Yeah, I mean, I think those are probably the first good examples. Now, when I'm a little younger than you, older than you. I'm sorry, I'm a little older than you. See, I'm old, so I made that mistake. I'm older than you, so I remember right when I was getting started, Savage was like the #1 heel in the business, but he was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And there was like complicated feelings. Like I guess I'm rooting for Hogan because he's the good guy, but Savage is really fucking cool. Mr. Perfect, heel. Ravishing Rick Rude, heel.
Who was the crowd rooting for, though? Who were the masses rooting
The
for?
masses were rooting for
the good guys.
For the good guys.
After '96, the masses
There you go.
started
Okay.
rooting for the bad guys.
Fair enough.
Just, I and like I said, I know this is crazy. My friends call me crazy for mentioning this, but I don't know. I think it's worth.
Do you credit Austin more or NWO more, or you can't parse it out? It's everybody.
It's everybody. I just think it was a movement. You look at even music coming into the late '90s, like Limp Bizkit and Korn, like those bands wouldn't have done very well before the mid '90s. I think there was just a movement in people that were either sick of something or they needed to rebel against something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that there was a movement.
Well, even on TV, it became more realistic, more foul. Like South Park came to
Bingo.
fruition.
See, yeah, South Park, good.
Yeah,
one.
we became a lot more realistic and more cutting and more sarcastic and more
Yes.
everything like that. We were just kind of a rougher around the edges people for a while.
Yeah, see, South Park's a great example. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Yeah.
This guy knows his stuff. I'm telling you.
Just so good.
The best in the biz.
Are you ever? Okay. I never really got into South Park. Right when it was popping off, 97, 98, I was 19 years old, and I was into South Park, but I didn't stay with it. And it's one of my great regrets in media because it's still going. It's still really fucking funny. And every now and then I'll see a clip and I'm like, and I kind of wish I had stayed along for the whole ride, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm a fucking hilarious dude. You'd think I would have stayed with South Park.
You are hilarious. But I don't think it's a serial show like that. I don't think
You can just
because
drop
you miss-
in.
Yeah, because they're dealing with current events.
Yeah.
And I think they push boundaries. You know what I like about South Park is they're real. If they call bullshit.
Yeah.
If they see bullshit, they call it.
In real time.
the next week on the
Correct,
show. If
yeah.
they see bullshit, they call it.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about it. But yeah, you don't just because you missed a bunch of season, jump back in whenever. But
I'll be damned.
you are a funny guy though. Don't think because you haven't watched South Park you're not incredibly funny. You're
Well,
hilarious.
I don't need a motivational speech. I'm doing fine.
No, I know. I just sometimes we talked about the confidence before. I'm just trying to make sure I keep it up.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah. I feel good now. I feel good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out and conquer the world. And our producer has just stood up and left the room. That's a bad sign. This might be getting recorded. It might not be. I would never say this to her face, but she's a delightful person and a wonderful artist.
Good reference.
Why wouldn't you say that to her face? That's one of my favorite ones to do whenever somebody leaves the room.
Yeah.
Just drop that.
Yeah, that's good.
So let's go back to wrestling.
Are we record? I don't know. She really did leave. By the way, she really did leave.
She left. It doesn't. Whatever. She just women be shopping, you know. She had to go shopping. No, I'm sure she is. She'll be right back. It's a very busy day for the producers. We got a lot of shows going on right now.
Especially tonight's opening of the NFL season. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about wrestling as a whole. I'm not asking you to speak glowingly of AEW or WWE or what's going on, but it feels like we are in one hell of a time for wrestling. I feel like you guys are putting on incredible shows. I feel like WWE is putting on incredible shows. I feel like All In was spectacular. WrestleMania was spectacular. I'm not trying to get you to talk good about competition. I'm just saying a rising tide does lift all ships, and it feels like the tide is high right now.
I think the tide is very high. I think in any sports, any entertainment, there's always going to be negativity. But to people that want to be negative against either or, I have to ask them, isn't this what we begged for 10 years ago?
Yeah.
This is 10 years ago we were begging for this. And now we have it. And it's like we're arguing about silly things. It's like, could you imagine in 2014 it would be like, oh, Game of Thrones is the better show. No, Game of Thrones gets more views. Whatever the fuck. It's wrestling in general is popping off.
Yeah.
We're selling out stadiums. Both companies are selling out stadiums.
Stadiums.
Football stadiums, man. Their product is awesome. Our product is awesome. I mean, I think who's benefiting the fans? I think, but like I said, there's always going to be the negative people who are just miserable in their everyday life. You probably deal with them,
Oh, a lot, yeah.
So they just want to be negative, and you got to let them be negative and go in one ear and out the other, and just use your own opinion. Say objectively, shit's good.
I currently have 8,000 people blocked on Twitter.
No, 8,000.
No, I was just kidding. I think it's like 11 or 12,000.
Yeah.
You mentioned negativity online, and I think wrestling is in a very unique spot with this because I feel like there's as much negativity in wrestling Twitter as there is anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And it's completely juxtaposed if you walk into a building that AEW is working that night or WWE is working that night, and you've got a full-ass place of excited-ass people.
Yes.
What do you make of that contingent of wrestling fans who just want to either be miserable or give off the appearance of being miserable?
I think it's a combination of both, but I think they're just miserable people, and we don't know. Again, we have to ask. We don't know or say we don't know what's going on in these people's lives.
Yeah.
They're clearly miserable. They hate on everything. Some people it is a gimmick.
Yeah.
For some people.
I agree.
But yeah, like the fans are having fun. Wrestling in general is popping off. It's popping off in pop culture. But yeah, the negativity online. It's what I said about in one ear out the other is easier said than done because it is tough because the negativity does get to you. But both companies are crushing. Indies are every company is crushing right now. So I guess the negativity it's almost I don't know if I think in all entertainment, I think in politics too, I think sometimes Twitter is like it can alter people's perception of reality.
It's not real life. It
It's
feels like it is.
But people reading it,
Yeah.
like I have people that send me things that they're reading on Twitter that I know like isn't really the feeling, but it's like if they're reading it, they believe it. It's like altering people's perception of what's going on. And I think there's a double-edged sword there.
You've been in AEW for 2 years now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of ask the old head question at this point.
Old head.
Kind of an old head question, even though there are people that have been there the whole time. But in the last year, you've had guys like Okada come in. You've had guys like Will Ospreay come in. You've had just recently Ricochet come in.
Yeah.
Mercedes Moné has come in. I don't want to make this just about the guys because it's not. But there's been an influx of talent, and the roster that you guys have right now, as far as a talent perspective, just speak on that because I look around. I was at Dynamite last night, and I watched a 6-man match that had Will Ospreay, Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, Pac, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta. And it's like, these are 6 of the very best professional wrestlers in the world, and they're all tightly packed into one match. Like, the roster is incredible.
Yeah, the roster is fucking stacked. I think it creates for good stories, good rivalries. Everybody, I want to work with everybody you just named. I mean, I think everybody, obviously, Mercedes is I don't know, we don't do intergender stuff. Well, sometimes, but everybody you named, these are people I want to work with. So it's like, I think, bring them all in. The more people, the better. The bigger. I could see the flip side of it, but I think we want a fucking super team, dude. We want the 2011 Miami Heat. We want a fucking super team.
Well, that team did lose the finals.
2011, 2012.
That team won the. Okay, all right, I like that. That was a good recovery right there.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was the first one that won.
Yeah.
So who's 2012 LeBron James?
2012 LeBron James. Oh, in our company.
Yeah.
So he was 9 years in. Damn, bro, that's a good question.
Yeah. Well, we can work.
But he was already the best in the world. So
he had been the best in the world for a while.
I would say, you would say, oh well, Will Ospreay, but he was the best in the world for already 6 years.
Yeah.
So that's it. I don't know. Put a pin in that one.
Okay. Yeah. We'll work on that one later.
Yeah.
That'll be interview number 2 later on down the road.
Yeah.
I'll just lead off with, all right, who's LeBron James?
Yeah. Who's the 2011, 2012 LeBron James?
You know, the learning tree thing is going pretty good right now, and you're behind Chris Jericho in all the interviews. Do you see, you stepping forward into the front of things in the near future or something like that?
Yeah, I'm open to it. We'll see what happens. Right now, I love what I'm doing. Fucking, it's fun. Going to work is fun. Yeah. I love what I'm doing. I mean, we did a backstage a few weeks ago where he was 102 days as the FTW champion. Yeah. Everything off camera. I haven't laughed that hard at work maybe ever. What you saw on camera was one thing. What was happening off camera in the room, it's just fun. So I'm having a lot of fun. I love what I'm doing. But yeah, like we talked about before, everybody wants to be the guy. So eventually you want to take that leap. So I just have to make sure I'm prepared. Whenever that opportunity is presented, I'm ready.
I feel that so much because I feel like working here at Barstool. I'm on a show called The Yak, and sometimes the funniest days I have are planning sessions before we go live.
Yes.
Or when we're just sitting around, kicking around, like, what if we did this and what if we did that? And like, my sides will be hurting. Yeah. And I'll realize nobody will ever see that.
Yep.
But it makes the process so much better.
Yeah.
And so worth coming to work.
Yeah. Because
if the process was miserable but the product was good, you would be miserable.
Yeah, you would. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, no, you would. Yeah, it's the plan. Yeah, I have more fun sometimes. More often than not, I have more fun in the planning of things.
Yeah. Have you grown into loving your place in AEW and having fun at work, or was it like that the second you got to AEW?
No, I mean, when being with Chris Jericho now is kind of being tag champs with Ricky and being with Chris Jericho. I felt like secure and okay, I'm secure in my spot, but other times I didn't. So, I guess when I first got there, definitely it's a lot better for me now, especially because I walk into the locker room 2 years ago. No one knows me. Yeah, they only know what they've heard about me, so you don't know. So but now I have 2 years of equity with the boys and the ladies that. Saying hello to them, always conversing with them. So now I walk into work, and that's a huge weight off my chest. I can walk in, and I'm friends with these people. Yeah. 2 years ago, you couldn't say that. So it's also you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's better when you're friends with the people you're going to work with. You chat. Oh, I know.
You're not the guy from the other place.
Yeah, I already know. I got to give him shit about fantasy. Yeah. I'm ready to chat.
Are you in a fantasy league with wrestlers?
Yes, I'm in 2.
All right, baseball or football?
Football.
Okay, so
baseball is too exhausting.
Exactly.
No offense.
It's too long. It's too long.
Too long. Every day you got to set your lineup. No.
So who are you what wrestlers are you in a fantasy football league with?
Damn, bro, I could look through it right now. So the big league. So we have the one league that's crazy. 16 teams.
16 teams.
Super flex. So every starting quarterback is rostered.
Okay. All right.
16-team Superflex. So I'll read Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
Tucker Knight. He was with Heavy Machinery. Dawkins. Angelo Dawkins.
Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay.
I'm going through divisions, by the way. One of the referees.
So this is basically the NXT roster from 2016.
A lot of it is No Way Jose.
Yeah.
The dude Chase from NXT.
Yeah.
EC3. We got Cutler, Steve Cutler.
Yeah.
Jason Jordan. Corey Weston. He's now a producer there.
How's your team?
Oh, my team in this league.
Yeah. Do you feel pretty
So
good?
here's the thing. So it's a 16-team Superflex. So once
That's a serious ass league.
it's crazy. So once the elite QB, I think this year, especially in Superflex leagues,
Yeah.
QBs started to get overvalued. After Kyler Murray, Anthony Richards, after Kyler Murray,
Yeah.
I was willing to
I think that's
wait
where
till
the
the
drop
end
is. Yeah.
because everybody at the end is going to be almost identical. Not identical, but so my starting quarterback, I only have one, and I might pick up Justin Fields because I read something before I came in here about Russell Wilson. But so I only have one quarterback in a Superflex league. So the only one on waivers I could pick up now is Brissett. So my team, otherwise, 16-team Superflex. When I read it, just remember that.
You better be good at running back or receiver. You better have an extra good running back or receiver.
Bijan Robinson.
Okay.
Kenneth Walker, who I think could be the
Seattle,
RB1.
yeah.
I think he could be the RB1.
Yeah. Well, so could Bijan. I mean,
Puka,
Bijan is.
Puka,
Yeah.
Nico Collins. Oh, and this one, I'm ready to get hurt again. 3 years in a row. Kyle Pitts,
Yeah.
Zamir White,
Yeah.
and Brian Thomas Jr. out of Jacksonville.
Yeah,
I think he, by the end of the
The
year,
rookie
could be
from
the
LSU.
one.
Yeah.
He could be the one, like the number one. And this is a guy. So I have Chase Brown, Kamani Vidal, Ty Chandler, Jalen Polk, Joshua Palmer. But my biggest sleeper that I think, this is a long shot.
Yeah.
Really long.
Okay.
But
I'm going to see how long.
Long shot of a sleeper this year that could finish as a top 12 running back, Audric Estime out of Notre Dame.
Wow. Okay.
He's currently the third string running back for the Broncos, but I've had Javonte before.
Yeah. And you know how that ride
Stinks.
goes. Yeah.
And if you remember 2016, Alvin Kamara was listed as the number 3 running back preseason for the Saints.
Right.
And that's the year he went ham.
Yeah.
So Audric Estime is my big
That's your
dart
long
throw
shot.
of a sleeper.
That's your lottery ticket.
Lottery ticket.
You're not a big college football guy?
I'm not. Like I was telling you off camera, the majority of my college football knowledge comes from you and the shows that you do. So, like, no, I don't know much.
You New Yorkers, just y'all missed the boat on college football.
Yeah, I don't have a squad, man. Although I am trying this year.
Yeah.
So for my wedding's in December. My buddies were like, "Oh, we got to do a bachelor party." I don't want to do a bachelor party. Well, obviously, I want to go to my first college football game, and I want to go to an SEC game. The date that we're looking at, there's a game in Knoxville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's October 12th. Is that Alabama?
In Knoxville?
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the
Is that
one.
impressive that I knew my schedule right off the top?
I think that's the one. We put that on the calendar as a potential.
So you want to go to
an SEC
football
game where both teams are ranked, though.
Okay. So Tennessee would be a good one. Tennessee. All right. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
The best place in America and the SEC to watch a college football game is LSU. They have the loudest stadium.
Death Valley.
They have the rowdiest fans. They're crazy. I mean, they'll cuss at you. They'll throw pee at you. You know, it's crazy.
This isn't biased for real. That's the best one.
I'm a Mississippi State fan. I hate LSU.
Okay.
I like when they fail, but it is the best place to watch college football. I got to be a professional. I got to do my job as a wrestling interviewer.
Of course.
Enzo.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah.
Where y'all at?
I just did my final fantasy draft of the year with him and his league last night.
Really?
Yeah. Still good friends with Enzo. He's the fucking man. Enzo is people ask me about Enzo all the time, and I tell them he might be the only person I know that's a one of one. And they ask, what do you mean? There's no one else on the planet like him.
Yeah.
He is a one of one. If you cannot replicate him, he is a incredibly talented guy, man. Like,
I've met him one time, and you are 100% right. I've never spent 2 hours with a person that felt like that.
One of one. He is a unique breed, man.
And I apologize. You probably get tired of asking that question when you do
No.
interviews, but I feel like you'll forever be linked because how awesome it was, the debut and everything.
Yeah, I love Enzo. I really hope he gets another shot in pro wrestling. I feel he's too talented to not. He is He's so clever, unique, like wrote most of his own promo. He's just a funny guy. He's very clever. He's very unique, one of one. And you know him. He walks in a room and you just know he's there without even looking.
This room is now his.
Yeah. and pissing in corners.
And that's for better or worse.
Yeah.
But this room is now about him.
Enzo is a one of one.
Yeah.
And I can't say that about many people I've come across.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a one of one.
All right. Well, listen, I feel like we could sit here and talk for 3 hours about sports and wrestling. And
this is awesome.
Congratulations on your success. And we got you got the learning tree going on right now with Chris Jericho. You're 2 years into your AEW career. I know that we got bigger things ahead of us, but I appreciate you, man.
Thank you very much, bro. This is fucking awesome.
So that's Big Bill, and that was wrestling.